In her past life, she was the aloof campus beauty at university. During the 4 years of university, I never once truly looked at her. Yet after graduation, I was arranged to marry her. On our wedding day, we agreed to only pretend in front of our parents. At other times, we would not interfere with each other's lives. I had no feelings for Liu Ruyan. I never bothered to learn about her circle of friends. She never asked about my life either. No matter how late I came home, or even if I didn't come back at all, she didn't care in the slightest. I always thought she was like me, forced into marriage due to parental pressure. Until the day I suddenly fell ill and died. Liu Ruyan suddenly went crazy and rushed into the hospital, crying as she knelt in front of the doctor, desperately pleading. She said that if the doctor could save me, she would trade her life for mine. I stood beside her in a soul-like state. Watching this scene unfold, I tried to embrace her, but every time I passed right through her body. She couldn't hear my comfort. She was so emotionally overwhelmed that she fainted. Liu Ruyan held my black and white photo, her expression full of pain. She gently stroked the photo of me, her eyes full of nostalgia. She casually reached for a bottle, preparing to end her suffering. Ziqiao quickly grabbed the medicine away. Ruyan, it's been 4 years already. Hearing this, Liu Ruyan's face turned pale. Her breath stopped for a moment. He's gone. It's been 4 years. His voice trembled with sorrow. In my soul-like state, I watched it all unfold. Ziqiao gave Liu Ruyan a hug, patting her back, comforting her. Tomorrow is his death anniversary. You should make peace with him and say goodbye to the past. Liu Ruyan nodded gently. Yes, it's time to make peace. I've been muddling through for 4 years for him. That night, Liu Ruyan made a large spread of food. It was very abundant. She added a dish of sweet and sour chicken to a bowl, muttering to herself, Zhang Xieqi, these are all dishes you like to eat. You don't know, before marrying you, I couldn't even cook. I learned to cook just for you. She extended her hand, which had been cut by a knife, pouting slightly, her expression full of grievance. I'm so clumsy and awkward. My finger got cut several times. But seeing you eat the food I made with such enjoyment, I felt like everything was worth it. It wasn't until later that I learned all those dishes were made by her own hands. The first time I ate them, I thought they tasted great. I even thought the nanny had made them. Not only that, but when I was drunk, she took care of me. She ironed my clothes with her own hands. And when I fell asleep, she would secretly kiss me. She silently protected me, but I never noticed. I always ignored her. Liu Ruyan added a piece of fish to my plate. Then she said, this is the last time I'll cook for you. After tomorrow, when I finish the memorial for you, I'll forget everything that belonged to you. This is the best for both of us. I sighed. Although Liu Ruyan was in her early 30s, she still had a graceful charm. She was mature and beautiful. She shouldn't have spent her life unhappy because of me. She should have had her own new life. The next day, she wore pure white wedding dress to the cemetery. She came to my grave. Today, Liu Ruyan looked beautiful. Her long hair was styled in big waves. Her face was delicately made up. The white wedding dress made her look as beautiful as a fairy descending from the ninth sky. I always knew Liu Ruyan was beautiful, but I never paid attention to her. When we got married, I just wanted to get the process over with quickly. I didn't care about her appearance. Liu Ruyan smiled at the tombstone. Look at me, am I silly? You wouldn't care if I'm beautiful or not. Her words were full of bitterness. She placed chrysanthemums in front of the grave. Staring at the 2 characters Zhang Xieqi engraved on the tombstone, memories were triggered. Her heart ached. Zhang Xieqi, do you miss me? Ruya, I miss you. I placed my hand on her head. Although she couldn't feel it, I still couldn't help but do it. You won't miss me. How could you miss me? Liu Ruyan's face showed a bitter smile. But I miss you. Tears formed into a string, falling one by one. It's strange, isn't it? although you're no longer here. I feel like you're always by my side. I feel like you would stroke my hair. Hearing this, I paused my gesture of stroking her hair, a bitter expression on my face. Jongsi-echi. Actually, I originally wanted to let go of everything, but I can't. My mother wouldn't be able to bear it. If it weren't for this, I wouldn't have been lonely until now. I'll move away in a few days, far from this city, and never return. So before I leave, I want you to see me in my wedding dress one last time, just for you to see. I will never wear a wedding dress for anyone else. Liu Ruyan waved at the tombstone. Jongsi-echi, I'm leaving, goodbye. She reluctantly took her eyes off and, after lingering for a while, she turned and walked away. I stood in front of the tomb, watching her leave, but didn't follow. Liu Ruyan had just reached the edge of the road. Suddenly, I remembered that she was still wearing the wedding ring on her finger. She had to return the wedding ring to me. Forget everything about me. Just as she was about to remove it, the ring slipped through her fingers and rolled onto the ground. It rolled towards the center of the road. She hurriedly ran to chase it. This ring was the one I personally placed on her finger on our wedding day. She had never taken it off. At that moment, a large, heavy dump truck suddenly sped towards her. Ruyan, quick, get out of the way! I floated over, shouting. With a loud crash, the dump truck collided with her violently. I watched helplessly as Liu Ruyan was thrown into the air. She flew through the air like an autumn leaf falling from a tree, landing on the ground. I screamed in agony. I looked at her lying in the dirt. The red blood as blossoms bloomed on her pure white wedding dress. Her face was as pale as paper. Weakly, she turned her head toward the tombstone. A bitter smile hung at the corner of her lips. Tears slid down to the corners of her eyes, one after another. Ruyan, hold on. The ambulance is coming. You can't. I tried again and again to lift her, but each time I failed. This feeling of helplessness tore at my heart. Jongsi-echi, the biggest regret of my life is meeting you and falling in love with you. If everything could be reset, I would never love you again. At this point, her life was almost slipping away. Until she finally lost all signs of life. She lay in the dirt. I screamed hysterically. If everything could be reset, I swore I would do everything I could to make it up to you. I thought about never letting Liu Ruyan suffer again. Never letting her shed another tear. Suddenly, a sharp pain struck my head, and the world went black as I collapsed to the ground. I realized that I had been reborn. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself back in my university days. I took out my phone and checked. It was July 12, 2021. At this moment, I was lying in the school infirmary. The school was organizing a basketball game. I had been hit in the back of the head by a flying basketball. This basketball had been thrown by a student from Liu Ruyan's class. At this time, Liu Ruyan was still my classmate. She was the class president. She was going to bring the students to visit me. Thinking about this, I closed my eyes excitedly, waiting. Soon, footsteps could be heard. The scent of medicine filled the air. This scent was familiar to me. It was the unique fragrance of Liu Ruyan's body. It made me nostalgic. I couldn't help but take a deep breath, inhaling it. Liu Ruyan's voice rang out like the sound of a bell. She was standing by my bed, looking down at me. Her eyelashes were long and thick, like butterfly wings. I grabbed her hand firmly. In my past life, I never understood the deep affection she had for me. In the 4 years that followed, I constantly wanted to hold her hand and pull her into my embrace. But every time, my hand just passed through hers. That feeling of helplessness tortured me endlessly. Now, I could finally hold her hand. The soft and warm sensation immersed me completely. Liu Ruyan blushed, her ears turning visibly red. She bit her lip, trying to pull her hand away. But every time she tried, she failed. She didn't speak. I closed my eyes and pretended to be asleep. At that moment, Liu Ruyan's best friend, Jin Ziqiao, walked in. Let go of my Ruyan. Ziqiao rushed over and tried to pull my hand away. Ziqiao, be gentle. He's still injured. Doing this will only hurt him more. Liu Ruyan stopped her. When I heard her say this, I was deeply moved. Ruyan, are you out of your mind? He's taking advantage of you and you still care about him? Jin Ziqiao looked at Liu Ruyan with disbelief. Liu Ruyan smiled faintly, her bitter smile revealing her determination. Now she had made up her mind. If everything could be reset, she never wanted to have anything to do with me again. Liu Ruyan, who once loved me deeply, was already standing before my grave. You're awake and you're still holding onto Ruyan's hand? Let go of her, quickly. Jin Ziqiao shouted at me, hands on her hips. I responded, I can't let go. She threw the ball at me, almost hitting me. She has to take responsibility. I didn't let go. Instead, I pulled her closer. Liu Ruyan stumbled and fell into my arms. Her face landed on my legs. Though there was a blanket between us, it still made her ears turn bright red. My face, too, turned a deep purple. Yes, I did pull her on purpose, but I didn't expect her to land in such a way. Sweat was already trickling down my forehead from the impact. Liu Ruyan's pupils dilated, and she hurriedly withdrew her hand. Her gaze dropped, her heart racing wildly. She cleared her throat. After adjusting herself, she said, I'm the class president of Art Department 9. My name is Liu Ruyan. A classmate accidentally hit the ball and it landed on you. I'm here to apologize on behalf of our class. Just saying sorry isn't enough, is it? At least you should treat me to a meal. I couldn't wait to get closer to her emotionally. Although we were university classmates, we had never interacted before. So I had to find a good reason to spend more time with her. Liu Ruyan looked at me with suspicion. This doesn't feel right. She clearly remembered everything. She clearly recalled that when she visited me in the past life, I always acted like I didn't care about her. She was the campus beauty at Jiangchang University. Many people chased after her, yet I had little interest in her. This piqued her curiosity. In my past life, Liu Ruyan made up her mind to never have anything to do with me again. The wounds and pain she had endured, she never wanted to experience them again. That Zhang Xieqi, I'm used to eating with guys. It's okay. I'm not really used to eating with girls either. Maybe we should just get used to helping each other out. After all, it's not like we're going to be single forever. I made up my mind. I had to seize the opportunity and make sure I captured Liu Ruyan's heart as soon as possible. She was thinking about how to reject me. My mom is really strict with me. If she finds out I'm eating with a guy outside, she might overthink it. Then let's not eat out. I'll come over to your place. Seeing her hesitate, I quickly added, or you can come to my place. Reluctantly, Liu Ruyan agreed to have a meal with me. It was just one meal after all. I wasn't going to do anything to her. I was secretly planning in my mind. Suddenly, something came to my mind. Earlier, Liu Ruyan seemed to have called my name. How strange! How did she know my name? It wasn't surprising that I knew her name. After all, she was the campus beauty at Jiangchang University. What guy in school wouldn't know the name of the campus beauty? Although I didn't pay much attention in my past life, I still knew her name. But I was just an ordinary student from the business department. How did Liu Ruyan know my name? Could it be that she already liked me? I secretly got excited thinking about it. Tomorrow, when we have lunch, I definitely have to find a chance to test her. However, the next day at noon, before I could meet Liu Ruyan, I ended up meeting her number one pursuer, Wu Qingshu. Wu Qingshu had been her classmate from elementary school through university. They were also neighbors. He had been chasing after her for a long time. Later, on the day Liu Ruyan and I got married, he even caused a scene at the wedding. After marriage, he occasionally appeared in my neighborhood. Even after I married her, He'd made several attempts to say he wanted to take care of her. Unfortunately, Liu Ruyan never agreed. Wu Qingshu walked over. I saw his intentions clearly. That guy is Wu. His name's Zhang Xieqi. I've already gathered all the info about you. Wang Zhen pointed at me and told Wu Qingshu, so it's him. Wu Qingshu rolled up his sleeves and walked up to me. You're Zhang Xieqi? Stay away from my Liu Ruyan. She's mine. Is she your sister or your girlfriend? You little brat. You asking for a beating? Wu Qingshu was enraged by my attitude. He swung his fist toward my face. I was just about to fight back when I saw Liu Ruyan walking down the stairs. I quickly retracted my fist, planning to use a little trick. I would let Wu Qingshu punch me. If Liu Ruyan saw it, she would definitely feel sorry for me. Maybe she would even help me to the infirmary and take care of me. That would definitely bring our relationship closer. But then something unexpected happened. Wu Qingshu's fist was just 0.5 centimeters from my face when he suddenly slipped and, with a thud, kneeled in front of me. Liu Ruyan, still confused, walked over. She looked at Wu Qingshu kneeling on the ground and asked, Wu Qingshu, why are you kneeling to him? Did you do something unforgivable to him? Wu Qingshu looked like he was about to cry. I took the chance to say, we don't need to worry about him. Let's go eat. I extended my hand to Liu Ruyan. I took her bag and hung it over my arm. Liu Ruyan looked at the pink fluffy bunny backpack and felt that it didn't suit someone like me. She said, let me carry it myself. But when her hand brushed against my arm, she froze. Such strong arms. In my past life, she had touched them before. When I was drunk, she helped me home. She changed my clothes that were soaked in alcohol. Not only had she touched me, she had even secretly kissed my forehead and face while I slept. Why is your face so red? I reached out to touch Liu Ruyan's forehead, and as a result, her face turned even redder. Her ears and neck also turned red. She quickly took 2 steps back, keeping her distance. The sun's a bit strong. It's a little hot. She stammered. Her heartbeat quickened. In her mind, she was thinking, what exactly am I doing? I sent him a handsome photo yesterday, then said goodnight. Now I'm being all close to him. This is nothing like the Zhang Xieqi I knew in the past life. The sun was indeed pretty strong. I looked up at the sun. Let's go, I'll take you to a restaurant. The environment is nice, the food is good, and it's clean. I guarantee you'll like it. After saying this, I walked to the side of the sun, using my 183 centimeters height to block the sun for her. At first, she didn't notice, but later, she realized that she was always walking in my shadow. At first, she thought it was just a coincidence. When she walked faster, I walked faster. When she slowed down, I slowed down. I tried my best to make her walk in my shadow. At that moment, I felt Liu Ruyan looking at me with a strange gaze. She opened her mouth as if to say something, but she hesitated. But fate seemed unwilling to follow the path we had set for it. The repeated chance encounters and experiences slowly began to close the distance between Liu Ruyan and me. Liu Ruyan and I arrived at a restaurant. I stopped and turned around to look at her. Liu Ruyan's face was even redder. The sun was strong, but it wasn't hot enough to make someone blush like that. She looked at the restaurant with a dazed expression. I remembered she used to come here often. She really liked the food here. It must be a coincidence that I brought her here. Don't stand here in the sun. Hurry, let's go inside. I naturally took Liu Ruyan's hand and walked into the restaurant. I found a corner and sat down, handing her the menu. Order whatever you want, it's on me. Or, would you like to order? Liu Ruyan handed the menu back to me. I ordered a serving of sauerkraut fish. She suddenly froze. Sauerkraut fish was Liu Ruyan's favorite, and I didn't like it. I then added a serving of lotus root. Her eyes widened. The dishes I ordered were all things she liked, but not on the menu. Honey-glazed jujubes, sweet potato balls, pot-roasted duck, vegetarian ham, and a bowl of crucian carb soup. I rattled off everything in one breath. She was completely stunned. These were all her favorite dishes. How did you know I like these dishes? She stared at me for a moment. Finally, she couldn't help but ask, in my past life. I never knew why I could only stay by her side. It was as if there was a force pulling me to wherever she went. The things I didn't notice in life, I now saw every day. I watched her eat, live, and travel. It was hard not to notice. But this rebirth, she wouldn't believe it if I told her. I guessed. Liu Ruyan didn't believe me at all. Guessing one dish is a coincidence. Guessing so many correctly, though. Let's not talk about it. I pulled out my phone to distract her, leaning closer to her. I'm not lying. I've just been lucky these past few days. If you don't believe me, I'll conduct an experiment for you. She looked up at me. Her breath quickened. What experiment? You'll know in a bit, I said mysteriously. Soon, the dishes I ordered were served. I picked up my chopsticks and placed some fish fillets on her plate. In my past life, after being married for several years, I had never served her a single dish. She had imagined that I would treat her like an ordinary husband, but I had never been kind to her in all those years. Thinking of this, her emotions started to spiral out of control. Her eyes grew red. What's wrong? I noticed something was off. I immediately asked with concern. It's nothing. My eye has something in it. She tried to calm her emotions. My eye, it's just some sand. Then let me help you blow it off. I pretended to stand up, bending down to get closer. When she saw that I was really going to help her blow it off, her face turned bright red. She instinctively pulled back. Don't move. My tone was slightly domineering. Her heart raced. I gently held her chin, tilting her face up to make it easier to blow air. With each blow, her butterfly-like eyelashes fluttered. It made my heart race with excitement. Her face was as red as a ripe persimmon in the autumn. It was incredibly cute. I thought to myself, this little girl must have developed feelings for me. She's just too shy to say it out loud. This kind of thing is better when the guy confesses first. I need to find a way to create an opportunity. Alright, my eye's fine now. Liu Ruyan pushed my hand away. Her heart was pounding faster. It felt like it was about to burst out of her chest at any moment. Her mind was in complete chaos. From yesterday to now, my actions were becoming more and more unpredictable to her. The developments in my past life were nothing like this. After dinner, Liu Ruyan just wanted to hurry back to school. She was afraid that if she stayed with me any longer, she would develop unrealistic fantasies. She was afraid I might start to have feelings for her. In my past life, she had always stayed by my side, hoping I would suddenly develop feelings for her. But in the end, it was all just wishful thinking. Now, with this rebirth, she didn't want to live her life the same way as in the past, so she wanted to stay as far away from me as possible. In the afternoon, I didn't have my life drawing class. I'll go back first to prepare. Just as Liu Ruyan was about to take a step, I grabbed her hand. I had no intention of letting go. Did you forget what I said earlier at lunch? I've been lucky these past few days. I'll show you an experiment. A few minutes later, I took her to the front of a Zhou Liufu store. Why did you bring me here? Liu Ruyan was completely confused. Look over there. I pointed to a pull-up banner by the door. It read that there was a raffle event. The grand prize was a free designated product from the store. That's impossible to win, right? That big raffle box. One ID can only draw once. She thought it was completely impossible. Do you not believe I can win the grand prize? Let's make a bet. If I win, you have to kiss me. Hearing me say this, Liu Ruyan froze. She looked at me with disbelief. In her mind, she thought, he must be joking. There's no way he's serious about making me kiss him. This is just a game, right? Thinking this, a trace of bitterness appeared in her eyes. What if you don't win? Then I'll kiss you. When I said this, I stared straight at her rosy lips. Her lip shape was incredibly beautiful. Even when she wasn't smiling, they looked sweet. They must be wonderful to kiss. Stop talking nonsense. Hurry up and draw. I still have to get back to school after this. I rolled up my sleeves, ready to show off my skills at the lucky draw. She glanced at her phone. There was only half an hour left before class started. There wasn't much time to waste. I handed the paper slip I drew over to her. You open it. Liu Ruyan casually opened the slip, ready to say something about how it was impossible to win. But then she saw the words grand prize written boldly on it. Her eyes widened instantly. She almost couldn't believe what she was seeing. I had actually won. Looking at her dumbfounded expression, I couldn't help but reach out and gently ruffle her hair. I told you, my luck's been amazing these days. She was so shocked that she didn't even realize I was patting her head. Don't just stand there in a daze. Hurry and pick your prize. Class is about to start. I nudged her toward the prize section. There weren't many items to choose from. Only about a dozen products. She asked me, "Who are you choosing a gift for?" Before I could answer, she continued. I looked at her teasingly and said, "For my wife." Hearing that, her pupils visibly dilated. I chuckled, "Just kidding. It's for you." The more time I spent with her, the cuter her little expressions seemed to me. I found myself liking her more and more. For me? Then I can't accept it. We're not that close yet. Her heart was in complete chaos. I knew she was just being stubborn. So I stuffed the prize into her hands. The things I said were really enough to make anyone overthink. First, I said I was picking something for my wife. Then I said I was picking it for her. If you connected the dots, it basically meant she was my wife from my past life. Her mind was a total mess. I asked the sales assistant to take out a ring from the glass case. This one? She stared at the ring in my hand, thinking, why did he choose a ring? Could it be that he already has someone he likes? Was this why he always acted so cold toward me in the past life? Because he already loved someone else? But he never even mentioned it. That's too cruel. Bringing me here only to help him pick a ring for another girl. The more she thought about it, the more her eyes grew wet. The pain in her chest made it hard for her to breathe. She was just about to leave when I grabbed her hand and without warning slipped the ring onto her finger. Liu Ruyan froze. I gazed at her with deep affection and asked, "Do you like it?" Thinking about how in my past life she was hit by a car because of a wedding ring, I felt an inexplicable pain in my heart. She instinctively replied, "I like it," but then immediately shook her head. No, I can't accept it." She tried to take the ring off. I grabbed her hand. "This is something for girls to wear. If you don't accept it, who should I give it to? It wouldn't be right to give it to my sister. If I give it to my mom, my dad would think my mom's having an affair." She struggled, saying, "I can't accept it." There was no other choice. Among all the designated items, this ring was the most expensive. Since it's free, of course, I'll pick the most expensive one. She understood then. It wasn't about the ring. It was just because it was the most expensive. Reluctantly, she said, "If you don't want to accept it, then I'll just throw it away." You really are wasteful. After all the trouble to win it, you're going to throw it away? Yeah, I'm pretty wasteful. So in the future, I need to find someone who can keep me in check. I gazed at her deeply, watching her face turn as red as a cooked shrimp. Her heart was in turmoil. She wanted to confess now, but she wondered if doing it right before class would scare her. Maybe it was better to wait a bit. Luckily, the Kixie Festival was coming soon. We walked side by side to the school gate. I insisted on walking her to the Fine Arts building. "Hurry and go to class. You're going to be late." As she said that, she kept fiddling with the ring. I reminded her, "Didn't you forget something? We agreed earlier. If you lost, you have to kiss me." Liu Ruyan turned around and met my gaze. That's when she remembered the bet. She hadn't kissed me before, but it was always when I was drunk and asleep. Now it would be a public kiss. It was too overwhelming. "Hurry up and kiss me or you'll be late for class." I leaned my face closer to her lips. Her heartbeat sped up. I noticed she was frozen. So I purposely said, "Are you trying to back out?" I didn't expect this. The famous campus beauty actually doesn't keep her word. Who's not keeping their word? Liu Ruyan said. Then on the tips of her toes, with her eyes closed, she kissed the corner of my mouth. Afterwards, she covered her bright red face and ran away. I stood there for a moment, stunned. I touched the corner of my mouth. My lips involuntarily curled into a smile. I only asked her to kiss me. But I didn't expect she would kiss me there. It looks like she really has started to like me. This was the perfect setup. The confession for Kixie should be a done deal. The class bell rang. I was in a great mood. I walked to the classroom at a steady pace, singing a cheerful tune to myself. However, at that moment, Wu Qingshu was hiding behind a tree, glaring at me angrily. He had seen everything clearly just now. The thought of the girl he liked actively kissing another guy made him want to pin me to the ground and give me a good lesson. He silently swore that he wouldn't let me have an easy time. After school, I still stuck close to Liu Ruyan as we walked home together. Our figures stretched long in the setting sun. Everything was so beautiful. Liu Ruyan looked at me, my attitude towards her being completely different from how it was in the past life. She thought to herself, could it be that the heavens saw how miserable she lived in her past life, and specially arranged this opportunity to allow me to make up for everything? If that's the case, if I truly like her now, should she accept me? At this moment, her heart was filled with confusion. On one hand, she couldn't control the feelings she had for me. On the other hand, the pain I caused her in the past life made her hesitant. Where's the ring I gave you earlier? I suddenly interrupted her thoughts with a question. I had already noticed she wasn't wearing the ring. I wondered, is it because you don't like the style? Liu Ruyan explained, it's inconvenient to wear it in class. So I didn't wear it. Inconvenient? What's inconvenient about it? Do you think the ring is too much? No! The ring is really pretty. I like it a lot. Then wear it. I deliberately gave her the ring. The meaning was clear to claim her. This girl was already taken. I'm wearing it around my neck. She took the ring out from her chest pocket. A ring isn't meant to be worn around your neck. You're wasting such a precious thing. I'll help you put it back on. As I said that, I reached up to her neck. I was about to untangle the necklace. Her face turned completely red. With me being so tall, as I leaned in, it felt like she was being embraced by me. Her heartbeat quickened, and she felt like a fluttering deer. Don't move! What if I hurt you? My voice was both domineering and gentle. She obediently stayed still, allowing me to untangle the necklace around her neck. I looked at her, being so obedient. I couldn't help but want to hold her in my arms and cherish her. Liu Ruyan's face was against my chest. The solid chest made her face turn a deeper red. Still not untangled? It's caught on your clothes. Wait a moment. Don't move. I was just teasing, saying nonsense. Actually, I had already untangled it, but I deliberately kept the warm position. Still not done? She pressed her lips together, clearly anxious. At this rate, her face will match the color of the sunset. Almost there. Move a bit closer. I can't see clearly. Come a little closer. We're already very close, aren't we? She took a deep breath and stepped half a step into my embrace. Now there was only a centimeter between us, and we were almost pressed together. Before she could adjust to the close distance, I suddenly pulled her into my arms. Immediately, the sound of our heartbeats filled the air. I couldn't tell if it was hers or mine, but I could clearly feel my heart racing faster. I breathed in the faint scent from her body, and in that moment, if I didn't do something about it, I wouldn't be a man. After a deep breath, I braced myself. I leaned down and secretly kissed her soft earlobe. Instantly, I felt Liu Ruyan stiffen in my arms. Her innocent reaction made her incredibly cute, but as always, everything should be done in moderation. Reluctantly, I released her. All right. It's done. Liu Ruyan stared at me in a daze. It took her a while to come back to her senses. You just kissed me. She stammered, biting her lower lip. Instinctively, she covered her ears. They still feel tingly. Maybe I just accidentally touched them. I feigned a gentlemanly demeanor. But inwardly, I wondered if I had been too impulsive. I was worried that I might have scared her. After all, in my heart, I'm an older man. But she's only just entered university. She's only 18. Sorry, I misunderstood you. She turned her face to the side, understanding that I had only been helping her with the necklace. In my past life, we lived under the same roof, spent every day together. I never crossed any boundaries. How could I take advantage of her in this life? Let me help you put the ring back on. As I reached to take her hand, she immediately pulled it back. I don't want to wear it on my finger, she said, and then hung the ring back around her neck. Seeing this, I thought to myself, I was too hasty and impulsive. Now I've made her angry. I need to find a way to make it up to her. Just as I was thinking this, I suddenly felt an unfriendly gaze bouncing toward me. I quickly turned my head and scanned my surroundings. Liu Ruyan and I were walking back home. But I couldn't shake the feeling that an unfriendly gaze was following us. Liu Ruyan, puzzled, asked Zhang Xiechi, "What's wrong?" I said, "I think someone was watching me just now." She looked at me and muttered, "With looks like yours, isn't it normal for someone to be watching you?" I asked, "What did you just say?" She nervously replied, "I didn't say anything. You're not secretly talking bad about me, are you?" She hurriedly denied it. No, I didn't. So I asked her to swear it. She responded, "Go to hell." Though our conversation seemed a bit childish, it gave off a very pleasant feeling. Not far away, Wu Qingshu glared at us angrily. His eyes were almost popping out of their sockets. He secretly cursed Zhang Xiechi, this brat. How dare he provoke my goddess? What made Wu Qingshu even angrier was Liu Ruyan's sweet, shy demeanor, which he had never seen before. After all, he had grown up with Liu Ruyan, but she had always been cold towards him, while she treated me so differently. Wang Zhen, standing nearby, reminded Wu Qingshu, "It's time to take action." Wu Qingshu immediately ordered, "Make them act now." I want Liu Ruyan to be completely disappointed in that brat. He gritted his teeth, clenching his jaw. At that moment, Liu Ruyan and I had just walked out of the pharmacy. Suddenly, two girls, one on each side, rushed towards me. One of them, wearing a crop top, said playfully, "ZCHE, you're so bad. You haven't come to find me in 2.5 days." She said this while playfully hitting my chest with her little fists. The other girl, wearing mini shorts, pouted and said, "I missed you so much." She made a gesture as if asking for a kiss. Wu Qingshu, hiding in the shadows, smiled at the scene. "Now let's see how you explain this to Liu Ruyan." Liu Ruyan coldly said to the two girls, "Are you sure you've got the right person?" I watched Liu Ruyan stand up for me, a look of surprise on my face. I was still thinking about how to explain things to her, but Liu Ruyan actually stepped in and saved me. The girl in the crop top, hands on her hips, asked, "Who are you? Are you the new girlfriend ZCHE found?" I felt the need to clarify. So I said to Liu Ruyan, "Ruyan, I don't know them." Liu Ruyan nodded and said, "I believe you." She knew what kind of person I was. Although she didn't know exactly what was going on with these two girls, she trusted me completely. When I heard her say that, I felt deeply moved. Although I suspected Liu Ruyan already had feelings for me, I didn't expect her to trust me so unconditionally. Such trust would move anyone. "Ruyan, thank you." Liu Ruyan seemed a bit shy. She quickly turned her head away and pushed my hand away. The two girls standing aside were suddenly fed a mouthful of dog food. The girl in the crop top asked unhappily, "Hey, who are you? Why are you hogging ZCH?" Then she pushed Liu Ruyan's shoulder. Liu Ruyan staggered back a few steps, I quickly reached out and wrapped my arm around her slim waist to steady her. Liu Ruyan shook her head, indicating that she was fine. The next second, I looked at the two girls with a cold, hard gaze. Do you dare to touch my woman without asking me first? Liu Ruyan heard this and her red lips parted slightly. Her pupils suddenly widened. She stared straight at my back. The silhouette of the young man seemed to be embedded in the fading glow of the evening sun, like a canvas of dusk. His outline was sharp and firm, giving me an unprecedented sense of security. My heart raced like a deer in a panic. I looked at the girl in the crop top who had just pushed Liu Ruyan. I sternly demanded an apology from her. She was terrified. She turned and ran away. The girl in the shorts was also afraid I would cause trouble, so she quickly followed suit and ran off. Liu Ruyan grabbed my arm and said, "Let them go." After grabbing my arm, she realized that my arm had really become very firm now. When she was in my arms just now, we were so close that she could truly feel my muscles. Liu Ruyan thought about the ABS photos I had sent her earlier and wondered if it really was me in those pictures. I noticed her gaze and smiled. "Let me show you now." I was about to lift my t-shirt, but Liu Ruyan immediately turned and ran. She looked down at herself for a moment, as if suddenly understanding something. I'm being such a rogue with this little girl. Seeing this scene, Wu Qingshu, hiding in the shadows, looked livid with rage. Wang Xin suggested, "Let's just rush over and beat him up." Wu Qingshu coldly said, "We'll do it only if it's absolutely necessary." "Then do you have any other ideas?" Wu Qingshu revealed a confident expression. "Tomorrow, our class has a basketball match against his class. I'm going to make him embarrass himself in front of Liu Ruyan." Wang Xin asked worriedly, "But what if he doesn't play?" "If, we'll deal with him then." Liu Ruyan ran back home, looking at herself in the mirror. Her face was as red as an apple, although she was someone who had lived into her 30s and been reborn. But whether it was in my past life or this life, I had never truly experienced a romantic relationship. Then, thinking about the sweet moments with me earlier, her face turned even redder. It blushed all the way to the back of her neck. Her mind was filled with thoughts of me. She didn't understand why I was like this with her. This was completely different from her past life. Her thoughts were a complete mess. This feeling both repelled and attracted her. While she was lost in thought, her phone suddenly received a message from me. "What are you busy with? I want to hear your voice." Liu Ruyan's breathing became slightly heavier. After calming down for a couple of seconds, she bit her red lips and replied, "Are you all right? You seem like you have something on your mind." She wasn't sure if she was overthinking, but she felt like something was off with my emotions. Liu Ruyan guessed correctly. When I got home and gave my sister, Zhang Yuan, her birthday present, the memories from my past life suddenly resurfaced. I suddenly fell ill and died. Zhang Yuan cried and caused a scene at my funeral. That was when I realized how much she cared. The brother who couldn't even remember her birthday. I felt guilty and sad. I replied to Liu Ruyan, "It's nothing. I just missed you and wanted to hear your voice." Liu Ruyan pressed her phone against her chest, accompanied by her erratic breathing. I noticed that Liu Ruyan took a long time to reply, and a sense of unease began to rise in my heart. In my past life, Liu Ruyan took care of me in every way, but I, like a blind fool, never paid attention to her. Now I regret wanting to be with her, but I can't seem to catch her. I looked at the time. It was almost 11 p.m., thinking it was late and I shouldn't disturb her. I was about to put down my phone when a voice message from Liu Ruyan popped up. "Zhang Xie, what's wrong? Did something bother you?" Her gentle, melodious voice instantly lifted my spirits. I thought to myself, my wife is so good to me. I felt like I'd been injected with energy, as if I had been revived. I quickly replied, "It's really nothing troubling me." I've just been a bit sleepless. Simply wanted to hear your voice. Liu Ruyan, while fiddling with the rhinestones on her phone case, thought about how I really wanted to hear her voice. She kept shaking the phone in her hand, her heart feeling like it was being squeezed by a cat's paw. At that moment, she felt like she couldn't let me control everything. She quickly changed the topic. She typed and sent a message. "Happy birthday to your sister." I made a confused sound in response. How did she know today was Zhang Yuan's birthday? I never told her. Could it be that she has also been reborn? But I quickly dismissed the thought. Because the chance of rebirth is so low, considering the possibility, it's almost zero. I sent a voice message. I had only mentioned my sister's birthday before, but never said it was today. How did you know? Liu Ruyan, hearing this, instinctively opened her mouth. Only then did she realize she had rushed to change the topic, forgetting this detail. While she was racking her brain to figure out how to explain, I sent another message asking, "Are you secretly in love with me? So you've been secretly investigating me?" Liu Ruyan froze. This was completely different from what she had thought. She quickly rebutted. "Stop being so narcissistic. How could I possibly be secretly in love with you? Isn't it normal to secretly like me? I'm handsome after all." Liu Ruyan couldn't help but laugh, realizing how narcissistic I was. But deep down, she had to admit that I was indeed handsome. When we were together earlier, she had stolen glances at me. My skin was really great. She messaged me and asked, "Have you been using any beauty products lately?" I laughed when I saw the message. She clearly thinks I'm handsome, but she won't admit it. I replied, "If you want to know, just call me hubby, and I'll tell you." She responded angrily, "Dream on. I'm going to sleep now." And she actually turned off her phone. But she mumbled to herself as she lay down, "Why would anyone want me to be their wife?" But Liu Ruyan lay on her bed, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. Her mind was full of thoughts of me. She didn't understand why I was treating her like this. This was completely different from her past life. It both annoyed and attracted her. Eventually, she pulled the corner of her blanket and fell asleep, feeling a sense of security from her usual sleeping position. But tonight, she still couldn't sleep. She kept glancing at the phone on her bedside table, thinking, what if Zhang Xieqi sends me a message after I turned off my phone? What if Zhang Xieqi is still awake, waiting for my reply? What should I do then? The more she thought, the more confused her mind was like a tangled mess. In her past life, Liu Ruyan had already made up her mind that she would never have any further relationship with me. If I sent her a message, that was my business. I could do whatever I wanted. Liu Ruyan grabbed her pillow and covered her face with it. She turned off the light, preparing to sleep. But 10 minutes later, she couldn't resist picking up her phone. She checked our chat interface. Sure enough, I had sent a new message. Liu Ruyan curiously clicked on the first voice message. "Good night." It was clearly the voice of an 18-year-old boy, but it had a hint of magnetism in it. How did I never notice that Zhang Che's voice is actually quite nice? After a full minute of hesitation, she slowly calmed down. She then clicked on the second voice message. Baby came from the phone. The phone slipped from her hand and fell onto the bed. Liu Ruyan stayed frozen in place. It took her a while to snap back to reality. She thought to herself, what did I just hear him call me? Baby? Impossible. I would never let him call me baby. He must have heard wrong. She picked up her phone and replayed the voice message. Each time she heard baby, she hadn't misheard. He really did call her baby. Liu Ruyan pulled the blanket over her head. She was afraid her racing heart might disturb the neighbors. That night, Liu Ruyan barely slept at all. Her mind was filled with my voice, the word baby echoing constantly. As for me, I slept soundly the whole night. I even dreamed that Liu Ruyan called me husband. I thought to myself, this would eventually come true. I was stubborn and bold, pursuing her without hesitation. If I couldn't win her over, then I'd have wasted this handsome face and well-built body. The next day, right after class, Wu Qingshu came to confront me, throwing down his challenge. Zhang Xie. Now, our two classes are about to have a basketball match. You're playing and we'll decide the winner. The loser has to back off. Never chase after Liu Ruyan again. I asked him in return, what do you think you're doing with Liu Ruyan? Using her as a bargaining chip? I looked up at Wu Qingshu without fear, my youthful brows showing a hint of defiance. Wu Qingshu deliberately provoked me. Just tell me, are you daring enough? I calmly answered. Your provocations don't work on me. Liu Ruyan is a person, not something to be used for betting. Wu Qingshu kept pushing. Who's using Liu Ruyan as a bet? Stop exaggerating. I just want to know if you're man enough to challenge me. I smiled. Reborn, I now have the skills of a basketball expert. Why would I be afraid? But if you lose, stay away from Liu Ruyan. Don't ever try to chase her again. Wu Qingshu laughed loudly. Zhang Xie, you just said that using Liu Ruyan as a bet is wrong. But what are you doing now? I'm different from you. I'm not using her as a bet. I'm thinking about what's best for her.